Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Knights 101, where we go in depth into the origins of Saint Seiya. And today I'm going to talk about Shiryu's tattoo. This is something that's already been mentioned in Shiryu's own Knights 101 video, but because it's a rather complex and important topic, it deserves its own video so that we can go a little bit more in depth into it. Now, first and foremost, the tattoo on Shiryu's back has been drawn his back during his training, so it's not something he was born with. The tattoo reacts to his Cosmo so that it only appears when Shiryu's Cosmo flares to its maximum, and it would disappear if Shiryu dies. However, this doesn't mean that the tattoo is only disappearing once Shiryu's dying, because the tattoo isn't there all the time. It only appears, as I said, when Shiryu's Cosmo flares up. But it will disappear very often once he collapses out of tiredness or just being fatigued after a fight, or even when his Cosmo comes down because he doesn't need it to burn as brightly as before. The color of the tattoo changes quite a bit. In the anime is very often violet or purple, and this is probably a reference to Shiryu's name, because in Japanese Shiryu means purple dragon. Now, purple is in itself a symbolic color. It's because in the past, when colors and pigments were obtained from natural means, purple was the most expensive and coveted one. It was a color of emperors, of royals, and of the clergy, the pope, because it was so expensive to obtain. So, being associated to the color purple in a way signifies that Shiryu as an important person, someone worthy of respect. Having said that, the tattoo isn't always purple. Some of the illustrations make it green and red, and more recently in the manga it has been colored mostly green like a real dragon. The tattoo shows an ascending dragon, and this is also full of meanings. In Chinese folklore, there are many legends about the origin of dragons, and one of the more common ones is that a dragon is born either as a sea snake or as a carp. And then eventually, after about 500 years, this carp leaps over the dragon gate and then swims upstream the dragon waterfall before ascending on the other side as a dragon. And if we think about Shiryu's training, the final task he had to perform to obtain the dragon armor was to reverse the flow of the Rozen waterfall. So, in ascending against the waterfall, he symbolically became worthy of the dragon cloth. And this is what the tattoo on his back represents, a dragon ascending from the water and rising towards the sky. The dragon itself is of course a Chinese dragon, or an Eastern dragon at least, and the Eastern and Western dragons are very different. In the West, the dragon is usually a symbol of evil. It somehow represents the snake, which is one of Satan's symbols. And very often in Western legends and myths, we have the saint or the hero who has to kill the dragon to symbolically defeat evil and help humankind towards goodness. In the East, however, the dragon is a far more positive creature. It often resides either in the celestial palace up in the sky or under the ocean, and has several powers that it usually uses to sort of help mankind. It's considered a deity, and more often than not a positive deity, so much so that statues of dragons are very often present in Chinese and Japanese temples. The dragon is also a faithful Buddhist. It was one of the 12 animals that rushed to Buddha's side before he ascended to Nirvana, and for this reason it's one of the 12 Chinese zodiac symbols. And of course the dragon on Shiryu's back is a Chinese dragon, so a positive and benign dragon. We are never fully explained just exactly how the tattoo on Shiryu's back was made, And we only have a little bit of an origin in the Seiya sequel, canonical to the manga, Seiya Next Dimension. In Seiya Next Dimension, we learn that the tattoo is only for those knights who, even among knights, are of particular importance and are implied to be destined to one day wear the Riber armor. The Riber armor is fundamental because it has the 12 golden weapons, the Riber weapons, and the Riber Knight is the one who needs to be able to determine who's worthy of using the golden weapons. Somehow the Riber Knight is the judge of someone's worth and has to be able to determine their true character. Now, we've only seen one more tattoo like Shiryu's, and this is his master's Doko's, once Doko goes back to full youth. And Doko's tattoo represents a tiger. Dragon and tiger are the eternal enemies in Chinese legends. They are often fighting one against the other, but they also represent yin and yang, so the two opposites. And the Riber gold quilt itself has elements reminiscent of both a dragon and a tiger. If you look at it closely, you'll notice dragon-like scales on its arms and legs, but also a tiger-like head on the helmet. So Shiryu's tattoo also represents this link between himself and the Riber cloth that he is destined to one day wear. Seiya Next Dimension also expands on Shiryu's tattoo further, because in a new flashback we discover that, according to Shiryu's master Roshi, to be completely accepted by the Dragon God, Shiryu has to overcome suffering. He has to learn to accept his role and his destiny as a knight. And you would believe that after 28 volumes of fighting, Shiryu has accepted that its destiny is to fight, but apparently not so, as at the beginning of Seiya Next Dimension, he seems to have given up fighting and only wants to live a peaceful life as a farmer back in China. Eventually, he decides to wear his armor and fights once again, and during his trip into the past, he lives a sort of mystical experience, which is called the Dream of Han Tan. And in this dream, Shiryu sees what his life would be like if he lived a regular life. So he sees himself with a wife, with his son, and eventually with a full family, and lives an entire life until he dies of old age, surrounded by his loved ones. However, just when he is about to die, Shiryu realizes that such cannot be his destiny. He is one to live and die on the battlefield as a warrior and not to have a peaceful life, even though it's a happy one. Once Shiryu accepts that this is his destiny, his life, he comes in possession of the dragon's pearl. And the pearl is the jewel of the dragon, and apparently it was hidden in Roshi's old cane. Once the cane is shattered, the pearl appears, and it soon takes its place on Shiryu's tattoo, held by one of the claws of the dragon. And with the pearl in the dragon's claws, that tattoo is finally complete, and Shiryu has apparently been recognized by the dragon god. At present, this hasn't translated into any increase in power. It hasn't had any fighting consequence, but it's implied that Shiryu's training is now finally complete and he can ascend to godhood and become at least accepted by the dragon god. So, as you can see, there are a lot of little secrets, mysteries and symbolism behind Shiryu's tattoo, so I hope this video has helped to clarify them all and make them a little bit more accessible. This was another episode of Knights 101. If you like this content, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, like the video, share it among your friends and among other fans of Seiya, and above all, keep following this wonderful anime. See you next time. Bye!